Welcome. I'm Mike Sharkwriter, and today we'll be covering the news from the 2nd of October to the 9th of October. So let's get started. On Monday, we got a tweet which was announcing the Halloween event starting on October the 13th. This was only a tweet, and I am not playing sounds. Get enough strikes from these as it is. So, yeah, right. And then on the 4th, was the console patch notes for the PlayStation and Xbox systems. And this had a lot of various bugs fixes, so including resolves the issue where you flood to revert your costume back to the uniform, and this update many things. Also, it updated an issue that caused new links and Tuvok get stuck on the initial walkthrough of the entire base and during the mission reunion, and loads more of various stuff, including some various other stuff. Quite a few are basically quite a few things that need to fix. Quite a few changes to the system that we've got. This basically they've updated. Also, notably, they updated the fleet, but not brought in the new update, the new store update. So you've got the fixes for some of the bugs, but not all of them. And they've also announced that there's a bug that's preventing that in-game voice chat won't work between two people that's on the same IP. Which is quite possible when you have two people on you're playing at the same location. And it recommends that you might want to switch to something like Xbox Party Chat or PlayStation's own Party Chat feature as a temporary workaround whilst we work on the actual issues. And that's basically believe it or not, the exclusive console notes we've got. And then we are on to the 5th of October for the 6th patch. And this basically had three things. Caused an issue that caused the Kobayashi spawn with the wrong costume. This basically meant that random shit appeared instead of the Kobayashi and when you summoned it. An issue that caused the useless challenge to spawning as the wrong ship type. This is whenever LaForge was supposed to appear, his ship wasn't appearing correctly. Updated the Universal Agony Redistributed console, so the cap on damage is now raised from a 2,000 to 17,500. Now that's whilst I don't actually use the console, it's really much instead of being the 2,000 damage was particularly something silly, because I quite often Scarlet does that on an opening volley in the that's just on one weapon, not the entire set of gear. Especially when you realise this is on a very tactical based ship. So yeah, they've increased the damage, very nice. And they also introduced a bug which I'll cover on cover one later on the 6th, which I personally encountered myself. So then they also introduced on the 6th we actually got a static event sale, which was from the 6th to the 10th, which is basically tomorrow. You basically can get various stuff to boost up your character and a few ships and stuff. You get some services, uniforms, and personnel and starter packs for you with 25% off. That can be very nice if you're just starting the game, and I recommend taking some of those starter packs because those ships are on their own are worth more than the starter pack. You know, it's a very good deal. Some of those are, although uniforms isn't always the best. Is more of a personal choice. Then we actually get the actual blog about the Fall of the Old Ones, which is the Halloween event coming up on the 13th. This is returned for the Halloween themed event. So, and this basically introduces this reason. Previously, it was just a Cat's Tail event, but they've now got two new patrols, which basically, as you doing various stuff, which I might actually cover as a bonus episode in the next 2 weeks. So the event progress. Now this event basically gets you 2 new items, which includes the Sylvia Feline Charm and the Transmorphic Containment Universal Console. That's right, 2 event items. And the first character who claims this reward also gets 25,000 lithium and free featured episode reward boxes. And you'll need to collect 14 of these events, so that's 14 days to complete it. And it's once. And the names of the actual patrols are the Skeleton Crew and Witch's Brew, and you can also do the Cat's Tail. And yes, and once you've completed the 14 daily progress and claimed the reward on one character, you can get your next time you run it, you will earn 8,000 dilithium ore, and it increases by 1,000 dilithium ore per day for the rest of the event. And if you decide to do it early enough, you can earn 50,000 dilithium ore per day. You could theory buy if you want to just get it early, or you need to get it pretty late on. You can buy it out with Zen, and it will be based on how much you've actually done so far. So the price will drop as you go along. Now the Feline Charm basically turns you into a black cat. This is more of a fun, useful item. It's quite not really fun, useful item, but it is a non-combat pet turning into. And I initially thought it was someone else's cat, which is also black, but I just remember it. It's remembered of Salem. If you don't, and you really do know, and not because it shows my age because of a certain teenage witch, right? And then this transformation is a temporary one, and it will break once you go into battle, and so you will. So it's more of a hang around Earth space stuck and just do a bit of fun even there. Then there is the transferred containment console. This particular one basically immobilizes and drops fire around enemy ships, and as and it's not. And it's just remember that this is not the Halloween event is not part of the year-long free tier 6 ship event campaign. So but it also starts on both console and PC on October the 13th, and will leave my thoughts about the consoles and the console for a later date, because it's not, in my opinion, something we need to. I need to get the stats up before I can really decide it's worth it. And then finally, this is on both for console and PC. That's right. Yeah. The Farragut is being released. This is the Kirk's ship from the Strange News World. That's James T. Kirk's ship. It's from the episode A Quality of Mercy. If you want to see it in action, and which itself is a reference to another. The entire episode is different to another episode. Reference to the original series episode. So this is Kirk's ship. Now I've got some good news and some bad news. People have actually taken these looks at the stats, and not particularly. I've got a feeling this is going to be a very popular ship to get. It's going to be more towards the fact it's an official Star Trek. It's one of Kirk's ships. So this is. But I've been told that the Miranda class has been better for this, but I'm not the one to really talk about this. But Legendary Miranda is talking about that I heard about, and also the Discovery Far From Home box, which is basically the the 32nd century ships and stuff comes in, and I particularly, which is not particularly exciting. I personally think the random teleporting Sharian is probably the best thing out the box, but that's more for the laughs than the actual actual thing. Although various stuff in here is also could be useful, a lot more useful than a random teleporting Sharian. But that's my thoughts on it. And I said the Far From Home box content is now moving into the Infinity box. Yes, and I think we've got one more final patch notes. This is late on Thursday for Friday. Yes, Fridays are usually what we call Emergency Fix Day. This means and resolved an issue which preventing the Emperor's Will event content from gaining additional daily progress towards the grand prize. And yes, I actually captured this the hard way because these patch notes weren't available at the time. And this has been extended by another day, and means that I might be doing 2 events on that initial in the next 2 days. So that's all the Star Trek Online news. Star Trek Online news. There is actually one Star Trek Online related news. Is this ship? This is the Enterprise F, or NCC 701 F. F for Frank. Yes. This is actually 1 minute and 52 seconds into the recently released New York Comic Con 2022 trailer. So, and this is the Odyssey Class F. Now, this is something that a lot of the Star Trek Online stuff I've been keeping secret until about a few hours ago. But yes, they have announced that the F will appear within Star Trek Picard. This is. I can't wait to go too much about this, and I'm not willing to show much more of this video of the next of them. There might be a few other ships from Star Trek Online shown, but anyway, this has been Mike Sharkwriter. See you guys next time.